the only Leeds Bros show.
Wow. Welcome back to Player Ratings. Leeds United 3, Sheffield United 1. Dylan, in a quick one, sum up what that game meant to us. Unbelievable.
Meant a lot to me anyway, that's for sure. Oh, I don't know, Darren, I'm still lost for words, still can't get over it, to be honest with you. Just putting a statement out there, Leeds are top by 5 points and we're not giving up lightly. We're going to keep going till the very end.
Yeah,
Nothing else
unbelievable.
going
5
on.
points clear, 7 clear at third. Burnley and Sheffield United still to play each other. It's just, we're in a really, really good spot at the minute, Dylan. I'm just
Serious position.
we've done it 2 weeks back to back, Dylan. Back to back 2 weeks in a row. It's just absolutely unbelievable. And I'm over the moon, Dylan. I just love this football team. We're absolutely quality.
It's this
But
team.
we're here for one thing, and we're here for player ratings. Dylan, let's dive straight in. Nose dive straight into it. Ilan Meslier, Dylan. I'll pass it across to you first. What did you think?
Yeah, look, it seems a lot worse. It would have been a lot worse if we hadn't, if we had lost that game. My problem with it is too many mistakes. I've said this in the Sunderland game. I've said it in, I think it was a Preston game, was it? Did he make a mistake at Preston as well?
Preston as well, yeah.
He just keeps making these similar mistakes, and it's a confidence thing with him. And clearly, Fark's just not going to drop him. It is what it is, but boys can't keep getting him out of jail as well. And he can't keep letting the boys down as well either, But then at the same time, it was collectively over with people, So there's something going off there. What was that?
Yes.
Yeah. So, just, it was a collective thing all over. But to give him a rating, it's probably a bit much for me. I'm going to go with a 4. Yeah.
Dylan, look, I suppose I can kind of see where you're coming from.
I was going to give him a 5, but I'm a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to go 5 anyway, and my reason for a 5 was, Dylan, is because I think he got better as the game kind of went on. At the time the goal went in, I was hammering him a good bit. I've watched it back. He makes a brilliant save from the initial one. It's the header from, who's that? Was it Callum O'Hare? I think got the header on it, Dylan. I'm not too sure. And he got the header on him. He touches onto the bar. Unbelievable save, Dylan, quality. But then it's after that, then he's kind of loses his foot and the ball's on the line. There's no one really around him. He kind of just, drags it across his own line into his own net. But look, it is what it is. We kind of move on from that. I think it was initially, Dylan, the balls that were coming into the box on top of him. It was 3 times before that he was flapping at 3 of them, Dylan. And he felt again that very kind of nervous Ilan Meslier, that a little bit hairy every time the ball went to him. You just felt like there was a mistake in him.
Just nervous at times.
His face expressions and all, he just looked like he was nervous and not 100% at it. And I think that in turn that unnerved our defence, Dylan, and unnerved our play a little bit. You did say it on our watch along as well. I don't think it's solely down to Ilan Meslier though as well. Our general outfield play, because I thought at times our passing as well was very, very sloppy. We gave it away too easy. There was no urgency, intensity. But yeah, overall, not a great performance again from Ilan Meslier, and in fairness, he's deserved his praise over the last couple of weeks. But we did say it after Hull, Dylan, that he does have these in him, and he does have clangers in him, and we just hope that it doesn't affect our season or affect our promotion. So yeah, 5 out of 10 for me from Ilan Meslier. He gets away with it today. Let's just hope that these are limited for the rest of the season, because we've put ourselves in a brilliant position. We can't be shooting ourselves in the foot. So, yeah, 5 from Ilan Meslier for me. We'll move on anyway swiftly. We'll move on to Jayden Bogle, Dylan, at right back, and I'll go first with this one. Didn't really seem to be the full confident Jayden Bogle tonight. Got a lot of bills, obviously, understandably, from their fans at Bramall Lane. His old kind of stomping ground, his old club. Did that affect him? I'm not too sure, but it's just his general play. We're usually kind of seeing Jayden Bogle being, that get forward fullback, the overlapping one. We didn't really see that in the first half. Second half, he was a lot better. He was getting forward. He looked a threat. Then he was helping DJ out a little bit more, and the link-up play came then, but not his best performance that we've seen out of him in the last while, and probably below his usual kind of self. So I went to 7 out of 10 for Jayden Bogle. There's more in there, but yeah, 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I have to agree. Just it's definitely not one of his best performances. He's been up and down. No, sorry, he's been constantly up. I'm not going to be a bit too ruthless with him because he's definitely made an impact in other games. At the end of the day, it's a tough thing going to the club that you came from. But the bills that he was getting.
Mm.
But at times he did create something. Gave the ball away once or twice. Him and DJ down the right hand side wasn't solely unbelievable. Coming into the second half, he kind of got a bit more involved. He was using the width a bit more to his advantage. But other than that, there was nothing too spectacular from him. But it was just okay. I'd probably go with a 7 myself, if I'm being honest with you.
As well. Yeah, not too bad. We'll move on to the right hand side of the defence then. Joe Rodon, Dylan. For me, I'm just going to put it out there, Dylan. I've been kind of banging the drum about Joe Rodon. And if you've been watching his player ratings recently, I speak very highly of Joe Rodon, Dylan. I think he's just gone under the radar lately. I really, really do. I think he's been phenomenal. That kind of left hand side of the defence, that chopping and changing. Obviously, with Struijk being injured, now Ampadu's injured again. Again, touch wood at this time, making this recording. We don't know the full extent of Ampadu's. We will find out tomorrow. But he's been brilliant in there, and for a player that's very kind of physical, puts his head on the line, he goes in for them tackles. He's never injured, and that's one side of his game that I've realised now. He's never injured, even all last season playing for Leeds. He was very rarely out missing. Again this season as well, he's just Mr. Consistent, and he's just been brilliant. Ropey start, but my God, he's improved week on week on week, and I just thought he was outstanding again. And for me, Dylan, he was my man of the match. He marshalled Campbell everywhere he went to go. Cannon came on again, marshalled him as well. I thought he was outstanding. Won his headers. He was brilliant, really, really good at the back, and I went to 9 out of 10 for Rodon because I just think he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant at the minute.
Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, Darren, I have to agree. He's definitely my man of the match as well. I think it's unheard of the things that he does bring to the team. I keep saying it week in, week out. With the hits that he was be taking, and not an injury to his name. He's a pure warrior, a Welsh warrior. Loving him, loving his kind of flair he has, and I've touched on it a few times now. Especially with him and Melier, the partnership has grown a good bit between the two of them. But then yet again, at times he was just sweeping up what needed to be swept up, and that's all you want from your centre halves. So yeah, Darren, but you know what? I'll give him a 9 out of 10 as well. To be fair,
that was brilliant. Yeah, so you're man of the match then as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my man of the match. Moving on then to the left-hand side of the defence, Pascal Struijk, Dylan, obviously gets his starting place back today. Who would have known if Ampadu was fully fit, what way Fark would have went. You'd like to think that Ampadu was going into midfield and Struijk was back there after his performance against Sunderland. But I think you could just see the difference back there, Dylan, in Struijk being there. I thought he added a little bit more muscle to the defence. He dealt with Campbell well. I thought the two of them did. He played well, couple of the balls over the top goal forward. He played lovely balls as well. And then a lot of his headers, Dylan. Again, he won a lot of his headers coming forward. A lot of them he kind of mopped up as well. So I went an 8 out of 10 for Struijk. Great to see him back in there. Solid performance, and we looked a little bit more solid at the back today, obviously, apart from the few hiccups from Melier. But overall, I think our defensive shape was good with the two of them back in there.
Just the two of them are brick wall and they work well together. That's just simple as it is. Struijk, you can always trust him. If he needs to pull one out of woodwork, if he needs to score, he will. But then based on, I have to kind of give him this rein based on how well he came back from injury and scored the goal. 32 goals and made an impact straight off the bat, and he's just been Mr. Consistent. But I have to agree with you there on the muscle. I like that. That's a nice way of putting it. He just kind of, there's just two big sticks in the back between Rodon and Struijk, and that's what I love about it. But the same as Rodon as well. The two boys, they like to go on and jallop and run every now and again, and then that was Struijk tonight as well. So not only is he giving you the solid defence that he does give you, he also gives you that offensive threat as well, if needs be.
Set pieces and all as well, yeah.
And to be honest, for such a big lad, he's actually quite quick. And what I mean by big, I mean just, he's just like a unit. So, I went, I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10.
An 8, lovely. Moving on, Dylan, to Junior Firpo at left back, and I do have to say, and I do have to hold my hands up again if you're watching the watch along, I wasn't too impressed with Junior Firpo in the first half, Dylan. I thought his game was a little bit sloppy at times. wasn't really kind of the out ball. He obviously missed the header a few minutes before he scores that, where I thought he should have done a little bit better with
Yeah.
the header. I think he just couldn't believe the time and space that he had. He obviously, headers it way over the top. It was a massive chance. But the one then, Dylan, a few minutes later, like, wow, a bullet header, absolute bullet header. And typical Junior Firpo is the man that's in the 18-yard box, heading the ball into the back of the net. And it was brilliant to see. And then you obviously seen the two of us just went into pure raptures and pure elation when we get back to 1-1. And then our kind of rhetoric in the chat then was, blow it up now, we'll take the win. And we obviously we all know what happened, then we want to win it. But that Firpo's all round game kind of after the goal, then you could see his confidence kind of growing, and might do him the world of good, Dylan, that he gets himself on the score sheet as well.
Yeah.
So delighted. And he also did make a vital block that I do have to say in the first half as well. I think it was Callum O'Hare that was coming in, the ball was whipped across the box, he nips just ahead of him and gets his toe on the ball and clears it away. It was a vital block as well, Dillo. So 7 out of 10 for Junior Firpo. Really, really good, and great to see him scoring goals.
Yeah, I don't think it was a major performance. I think the goal really kind of gives the rating itself, considering he got man of the match on Sky Sports, but at times he just didn't really do it for me. But a lot of the players, to be fair, especially in that first half, were just a bit all over the place. Wasn't really kind of getting anything going. But he made that goal go in. I'm actually going to go with a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I feel like he can offer a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. Let's move on to the midfield then, Dylan. We'll go with Tanaka down first. Again, his header, Dylan. I'm probably going to watch that back again and again and again. Lovely looping header. And it's great to see Tanaka scoring. His celebration, the pure joy and happiness on his face to put us 2-1 up. But I thought he looked a lot better when Rothwell went in there with him. I thought with Gruev, his game was kind of stifled a little bit more. I don't think the partnership is great with Gruev and Tanaka. We've seen it a couple of times now. Look at it again. They're probably the least out of all the partnerships that we have in midfield that have played together. But I don't think it's been great there between them, to be honest with you. But I thought he was good tonight. He gets his goal. Solid performance from Tanaka again, and 7 out of 10 for me for Tanaka.
Yeah, I just think he's like Sam Byram. He's Mr. Consistent. He just does the dirty work when it needs to be done. He dropped back an awful lot in the first half. You did say to me you seen Tanaka was dropping a lot deep. And to be honest with you, I trust him before I trust anyone else, to be fair. Picking up the pieces. But I thought Gruev maybe was the man to do that, and obviously we'll get on to him. But I could just give you that bit more of a attacking threat that when we do need to get out of first gear. He's one that likes to create something, and he's not afraid to have a shot. And then that goal kind of speaks for itself. Just bends back, buries it in off the top crossbar. Sorry, is off their player and goes into the back of the net. There was no stopping it. And I'm delighted for him as well. Like, as you can see, he loves this club, he loves football, and he loves just playing. So I'm going with you there, and I'll give him a 7 out of 10 as well.
Lovely. Dylan, moving on to Ilia Gruev, who obviously was his partner for starting. I'll let you go first with this because, go on, you go first.
Yeah, more or less, Darren. I was actually very disappointed about him tonight. And I've been banging that drum week in, week out. Away from home, Gruev was the man to start in the midfield. The only kind of thing that he done positive tonight, to be fair, was heading the ball off the line. Maybe we should give him a little bit more praise than what it is, because I think if that goal goes in, the game is probably finished. Let's be honest. So I've given him a rating considering on clearing off the line, but his general all-out play, he was a bit lost the ball a bit too many times. He was, just seemed a bit silly with his tackles as well. He didn't really give anything away as such, but maybe a bit too little, too late sort of stuff with his tackles. And then he just didn't have that flair about him that we usually would see at times. He's a bit cynical with his challenges. So it's probably a bit harsh, but I went with a 6 out of 10 for Gruev. Not overly pleased, but based on heading off the goal, that's the reason why he got that rating for me anyway.
Yeah, Dylan, I'd probably have to agree with you as well with Gruev. I think he saves Melié's blushes with the brilliant header off the line, and saves, like you say, probably doesn't get enough credit, for that. That's probably the unsung hero there, because like what you said, that goes in the back of the net. it's a totally different game then, isn't it? But I just felt like his general kind of there in the first half, his general kind of all round play wasn't great. He kept kind of giving it away. There was definitely a part of like 2 or 3 times, in quick succession, he was giving the ball away and didn't look, kind of too good on it. And like what I said, I just thought it worked a lot better when Rodon came on, as it did against Sunderland as well. And Piroe went back in there. Yeah, look, I think there's definitely a spot for Gruev in this team, but I just think at times he's more that kind of defensive kind of type of player, and it seemed to work a little bit better with Rothwell as well. So I went to 6 out of 10 for him as well. You think back to some of the games that he played for this season, he was brilliant, he's outstanding, but I just think the last couple of games, he hasn't been at his best. So 6 out of 10 for me for Ilia Gruev. Let's move on to Dan James then, Dylan, on that right hand side. Probably a quiet first half, below his usual kind of self, couldn't really get into the game. But then half show for the penalty as well, don't think it was. But then the assist for the goal then for Firpo, and that's what Dan James gives you as well, Dylan, isn't it? He can just pop up out of nowhere, even when he's always involved, isn't he? He's always in the game, but there's times where it looks like he's just not going to make things happen. But he did then with that for the Firpo assist, Dylan, and he always kind of has something, in his pocket lined up. Brilliant assist for the goal. So 7 out of 10 for me for Dan James. Another really, really good performance. And our top GNA now as well at the moment in the last couple of games. He's absolutely flying.
Yeah, look, I think, he took a shot with the left foot, bloomed it over the bar, kind of went over and thing. And it was, for me anyway, when I seen that, I was kind of saying what Evie does always say. It's kind of the heart that he has for the team. He doesn't give up, but that's the vibe that I get from him. And he look, as I said there, he just doesn't give up. Him and Bogle on the right hand side tonight wasn't unbelievable, but he did have a lot of stuff to deal with down that right hand side at times. But James doesn't give up, and when he goes through like that, when he has them mad runs, to be fair, I think we can all agree, we get very excited. He's just a quick tempo, fast paced player that you don't know what he's going to do, whether he's going to cut in or stay out wide and put across the box. And more like that assistant Firpo, and what a ball as well, don't forget. But I'm completely, there's definitely a show for a player of the season for me when it comes to DJ at the end of the year. So I went with a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. We move on, Dylan, to Brendan Aaronson then in that number 10 position. For me, probably the lowest rating we'll give tonight. I thought he very, very much underperformed tonight definitely.
For me. Yeah.
Felt like he
got engaged.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Felt like he got lost in the game, Dylan, for me. He lost the ball quite a lot of times. Again, you cannot fault his lack of commitment and trying, but his quality tonight in the ball I thought was severely, severely lacking at times. Even his press I don't think was that effective for us today as well, because they just kept bypassing us as well. So we kind of pride Brendan Aaronson on this player, being the press, and I thought it was a bit ineffective tonight as well. So
sorry for jumping across you there. Just you said this, it's just something now. Is it the issue of being the main starter and not number 10? Like, me and you've constantly been feeling sorry for him.
I think, Dylan, to be honest with you, I think he could be just starting to kind of flag now a little bit, because he's been flogged all season, Dylan. And this is what we said when it comes to these these type of games. What we've 12 games to go. Like, is he kind of feeling the pace of it a little bit? Probably, Dylan, because he's played an enormous amount of football this year for Leeds United, and in a massive game like that, you need your big players to show up, Dylan. And he didn't. He didn't tonight, and that's probably the disappointing thing for me. And it probably feels so harsh to say, but I have to be true to myself when I'm trying to do these player ratings. And I thought he was a 4 out of 10, Dylan. I don't think it was a good performance from Aaronson. I thought he was poor, kept losing the ball on us, and his press wasn't very effective. So poor game all round for him.
It's probably the worst game I've seen him play, if I'm being honest with you.
Since he came back, I agree. I agree.
It was
no doubt he'll turn it around, though. He definitely has the.
I definitely will.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan. Do you know what? I didn't think you were going to go that long, to be honest with you. I was thinking of 4.
No, it felt harsh. It was only when I was thinking about before, but I was trying to think back through the game. What exactly did he do that was good?
I'll give him a 5. I'll give him a 5. I was thinking of a 4, but I really was giving him a 4, but the 2 I was going to give him a 4. Jesus.
You can, but I think you have to be true in these player ratings out there and kind of what you feel. Like, again, they can be controversial. You might have someone in the chat thinking that, Aaronson did. He
didn't do anything for me. I can't really.
I just think in games like that, he's not really. Look, let's be honest, he's not really one to kind of unlock a defence, do you know what I mean, or try to pass, or Pablo kind of Esquire. We know that. But it just felt every time he got the ball, he just kept losing it. He kept getting bundled over kind of fairly easy on it as well. So, yeah, not as good performance anyway from Aaronson. But look, again, I've no doubt I believe in him. He's that type of player that will want to come back and prove himself wrong, and there's no doubt he'll get himself back in up to scratch. We'll move on anyway, Dylan. We'll move over to Manor Solomon then on the left hand side. Look at the fear before the game, Dylan, that Solomon was going to be out injured. He started. I was delighted to see him in the team sheet, but I just probably thought you could probably tell that he probably didn't train all week, and you could probably tell he was, after being out with kind of, an injury, he was kind of nursing himself a little bit. Look, he still looks absolutely quality on the ball, but you could just tell that was just that 1-2% off his usual manner. Solomon himself, he did have one opportunity where he cuts back inside and it's straight at Cooper. Probably should have done a little bit more with it into the far corner. He seems to be kind of coming in a lot on that right foot at the minute. But again, overall, look, he looks dangerous. He looks good. He always kind of, when Solomon has the ball, it always looks like we're going to create. I just would have liked him to have that little bit extra 1 or 2% in him to kind of make the difference in that first half, because we were severely lacking it. But a 7 out of 10 for me for Manor Solomon, and let's hope the injury's all right. He gets a good week. Well, not even going to be a week, couple of days rest under his belt, and he's fully fit then for West Brom.
We're going to give him an 8 out of 10 because I think at times he was the only one to kind of create something. It wasn't his best performance, but considering at times the ball was always kind of being brought out to him in the first half, and he was trying to cut in, and he'd have a shot or it was blocked, or he'd lay a lot off, or Aaronson would bloom it over the bar at times. You know yourself, the usual. So he was creating stuff, and he did look like the main threat. But it's the same thing then. I kind of just feel sorry for him at times because him and James, like, maybe he's starting to feel that pressure now with Gnonto and Ramazani because they're not necessarily scoring, but the performance isn't there as such, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna give him a 7 out of 10 as well.
7 out of 10. Nice, right. We'll move forward then to Joe Piroe, Dylan, the man up top. I have to dive straight in, Dylan. The goal was just unbelievable. What a strike,
Wing.
what a hit.
Clean
as a whistle. As you say, no Piroe, no party, and he sealed it. It was the cherry on the cake, Dylan. The Joe Piroe goal, absolutely outstanding.
Some strike, wasn't it?
Some strike, absolutely unbelievable. Nearly broke the fingers, the goalkeeper's fingertips. Absolutely, what a hit. But then largely kind of in the game, Dylan, again, it was kind of the normal kind of Piroe, wasn't it? We kind of didn't really get on it. We seen a stat put up from Sky after, I think it was 35-40 minutes, that he only had 4 touches on the ball as well in the first half.
Yeah, that was the 33 minute. Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't solely blame him because we just couldn't get the ball up to him, and he didn't have any real opportunity. So I don't solely blame Joe Piroe on it.
When we did have the opportunities though, Darren, you yet again, you called it out again. Look where he was. I think it was TJ who's gone up the right hand flank, tried to put it across the box. Piroe's miles. He's not even in the box. No, so his quickness needs to be a bit more sharper. Maybe move that second idea. Don't get me wrong, if DJ's quick, though, I'm not saying that he needs to be as quick as DJ, but he definitely needs to be in the box.
Yeah, 100% agree. So I went to 7 out of 10 for Joe Piroe. What do you want to go?
Same. So the strike for me, that was just pure quality.
The strike. The strike. Let's move forward then to Joe Rothwell, Dylan. It was always going to be hard to have the same sort of impact as what he had against Sunderland, but it's like what I said, Dylan, when we were talking about Gruev. I thought he did make the difference in that centre midfield. We look at a lot more dynamic. Him and Tanaka together, the partnership is really, really good. It's blossomed, obviously, for the period of time that Ampadu and Gruev has been out. And again, his corners and crosses into the box, he looks dangerous. He's quality on the ball.
Yeah.
And again, he just turns on the tempo that he brings to the game again. So I went to 7 out of 10 for Joe Rothwell. I think it's getting to a stage now, Dylan, with Joe Rothwell, that he's really pushing for a starting place, whether it's even away from home now, Dylan. We obviously talk about, Rothwell and Tanaka at home. 100% I think that should be the two of them in there against West Brom. But there's a shout now for away as well.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I think. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for Rothwell for me. I'm falling in love with him, Dylan. I'm falling in love again.
Rothwell for me, you said it a good couple of months ago. You said speed, you said tempo, and it's the difference of them words that definitely give you a different eye opener. And that's something that he does when he gets the ball. The first thing he do, he's gone, whether he needs to play the pass or just start running around in a attacking manner. He comes on, I think, we controlled the game a bit more better with him. And you know, every time we got the ball, whether it was Rothwell or whether it was Tanaka, sorry, the ball was just played out to the wings a bit more quicker. That kind of, that's what I liked about it, and we just seemed to couldn't do that in the first half. Boy, love him. You know, I think he's a great player that we have definitely got on loan. Sorry, but yeah, I think I'll agree. I think I'm gonna go to 7 out of 10.
7 as well. Let's move on to Matteo Joseph Dillon. Just obviously sub, so we can kind of smash through these short and sharp. The Matteo Joseph Dillon, I'm gonna go for a 6 for him out of me. I thought he walked the line very well. He definitely gave us something a little bit kind of different up front. Dynamic, yeah, 100%. But then probably lost the mark for me was the shot that he blazed over the bar. He should be doing a little bit better. He snatched that, and again, it's probably just lack of game time. You know, in that situation, I thought he might have seen his name up on lights a little bit. You know, doesn't get his knee over the ball and gets right under it and blunts it into the stand. Yeah, but other than that, he was good and like that different kind of dynamic then up front there, and kind of got them thinking about a different type of player in the Sheffield United back line. So 6 out of 10 for me for Joseph.
Yeah, I've definitely seen signs of improvement. That's what he does. It's stuff that he's never going to get credit for. It's the running. To be fair, to a certain degree, I think that's what he done with the defence. He ran them ragged at times. But yeah, I have to agree, Darren. With him and Aaronson, every time we get them chances in around the box, just hit the target. You know, if you don't score, you don't score. You shouldn't be blooming over the bar like that. And then, as you said in the watch along, just get your knee over it. You know. But yeah, do you know what? I'm actually gonna go with a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10, nice.
Let's
move on.
Improvement.
Yeah, 100%. Let's move on to Willie Gnonto then, Dylan, who I was actually delighted to see him back on the pitch because obviously we've seen that he's, you know, he hasn't even got, you know, a run out on the last couple of games for Leeds, and surprised to actually see him coming on because I thought it would have been Ramazani, so it was nice to see Gnonto. And then we just have to talk about the curling effort into the, you know, towards the top corner. Forces an unbelievable save from Cooper, which obviously leads to the goal. But he looked like he wanted it, Dylan, as well. He was involved. You know,
a bit better than he.
Yeah, he looked a bit of a threat, and maybe he just needed a couple of weeks off to kind of give him that little bit of, you know, bit of a kick in the hole to kind of get him going again. Lovely curling effort, would have been an unbelievable goal if it went in. So nice to see Willie Gnonto back on the pitch and contributing as well to the team. So yeah, I thought he was good, and I'll go 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for Gnonto.
6 out of 10. Yeah, no, as I said, definitely when he came on, he definitely improved the game to a certain degree, and in himself. He's just been lacking that lately. But I'm delighted to see that he's back on the pitch. Very unlucky with that shot. It was a great save though from the keeper. And, you know, to be fair, he still has it in the locker. He's not afraid to have a pop when he needs to. And I'd like to get him to this team, but it's a very hard one with DJ and Solomon just making, you know, the other teams look silly at times. But there's definitely room for him here, whether it is super sub or whether it is a star. You know, when his name does become called upon, hopefully he's there to make an impact. And to be fair, I actually think he done that tonight. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Nice, right. The other sub then was obviously Byram. He came on, Dylan. I think it's probably not applicable to
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Probably a bit harsh to kind of rate Byram because he wasn't on the pitch for too long. He came on the 90th minute, after the 90th minute anyway, for Junior Firpo, the goal scorer. The referee, Dylan, tonight was David Webb. I'll go first with his rating. I don't think it's probably the worst refereeing performance that we've seen. We've seen a couple of bad ones over the last couple of weeks. But probably should have sent Hamer off, I think, for a second yellow. I don't think he had the balls to kind of deal with Dylan.
The penalty claim as well,
I thought it was soft. Thought it was soft.
Not the handball.
Or the handball. Yeah, forgot about the handball as well. Probably hard, and again, I don't like sticking up for referees, but probably harsh for him to see Dylan where he is. If you look at the angle that he's at, it's probably more as linesman that needs to call that one rather than him, because obviously he's probably behind the player. You know, he's unsighted from the handball. It's probably more as linesman to see that. Again, I'll have to watch that one back. But overall, not the worst ref performance we've seen in the last while. So I'd go probably middle row, probably 6 out of 10 for David Webb. Not the worst performance we've seen from a ref, what we've come accustomed to in this league. So yeah, not too bad.
Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. I'm going to give him a 4. Straight off the bat.
You hate
refs. I know I do. I really do hate refs. You know, this is a serious business that we're in. Leeds United and the Championship, trying to get promoted and etc. And it seems that Leeds just keep getting letters of apology. And the referees are simply not good enough. Yeah, what I will say, I have to agree, it wasn't the worst refereeing performance. But who's to say with that penalty claim, you know, didn't win us the title? That's why I'm looking at it, or we miss out points.
It's big calls.
Big calls that big boys should be making, not little lads that haven't a clue and, as you said, and haven't got the balls to make the show, especially when it came to Hamer. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 4. Wasn't overly pleased. Not the worst, but I wasn't pleased.
Nice. Yeah, Dylan, that's it then for player ratings against Sheffield United. Leeds United take all 3 points, 6 out of 6 against Sunderland and Sheffield United. Who would have thought that? Absolutely unbelievable. We need to go again now. West Brom the weekend at Ellen Road. We need to keep this train going. Top of the table by 5 points. 6 cleared of Burnley. The Leeds train is moving. It's very, very hard to stop, is what Liam Cooper said when it gets going. So yeah, we just keep going. We keep plugging away, and I'm starting to kind of get that feeling, Dylan. You know, starting to get that feeling. You know, is it happening now? And not too long. 12 games to go. 12 games to go, Dylan. You know, the finish line is on the horizon. Not quite the final sprint just yet, but it's definitely on the horizon. We're getting there. So that's it from Only Leeds Bros, lads. That's it from player ratings. Thanks very much for popping in. Don't forget to slap a like on the video, hit subscribe to the channel, and we'll chat to you all again soon. Mind yourselves and mind each other. Love you.
Leeds.